You've probably said spill the beans hundreds of times. Maybe when your friend finally admits their crush or when a coworker leaks some office gossip. It simply means to reveal a secret. But stop for a second and really think about it. Why beans? What do tiny little legumes have to do with secrets? That's where things get interesting. Because the phrases we use every single day often hide strange, dramatic, and sometimes completely false origin stories. We assume they've always meant what they mean now, but many of them carry echoes of crime, war, industry, and exaggeration. Today, we're not just learning English, we're uncovering the hidden history buried inside everyday expressions. Let's start with spill the beans. A popular story claims it goes back to ancient Greece, where secret societies voted using beans white for yes, black for no. The vote stayed secret until the jar was opened. But if someone knocked it over and the beans spilled, the result would be revealed. It sounds dramatic and ancient. There's just one problem. There's no solid evidence that this story is true. The phrase only appears in written English in the early 1900s in America. We assume they've always meant what they mean now, but many of them carry echoes of crime, war, industry, and exaggeration. Today, we're not just learning English, we're uncovering the hidden history buried inside everyday expressions. Now take Saved by the Bell. You may have heard the creepy version that people were so afraid of being buried alive that coffins were designed with strings attached to bells above ground. If someone woke up underground, they could ring the bell and be rescued. It's terrifying and almost certainly false. The real origin comes from boxing. In the 19th century, if a boxer was about to lose but the bell rang before the referee finished the 10 count, he survived the round. He was literally saved by the bell. Still dramatic, just not horror movie dramatic. Consider the phrase, "Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater." The legend paints a disgusting medieval picture of entire families sharing bathwater until it was so dirty the baby could accidentally be tossed out with it. It's vivid and memorable, but historians haven't found proof this was common practice. The phrase first appeared in a 1512 German satirical poem. It was exaggeration, a powerful image created to make a point. An exaggeration, more than accuracy, is often what helps phrases survive for centuries. Then there's raining cats and dogs. One popular myth says animals slept on thatched roofs and heavy rain washed them off into the streets, making it look like they were falling from the sky. But historians have largely debunked this. Some theories link cats and dogs to mythology and storms, but there's no solid proof. The real origin remains a mystery, and sometimes mystery is part of the magic of language. Language also carries darker stories. When you let the cat out of the bag, you reveal a secret. This likely comes from medieval market scams where dishonest sellers would swap a valuable piglet with a worthless cat inside a sack called a poke. If someone opened the bag early, the cat would jump out, exposing the fraud. The secret was literally out of the bag. Even a casual phrase today can trace back to deception and trickery. The phrase "cat got your tongue" might have roots in the brutal whip called the cat o' nine tails used in the British Navy. Victims were often left speechless after punishment. Another legend claims ancient Egyptians cut out liars' tongues and fed them to sacred cats, though this is likely folklore. Whether fully accurate or not, the imagery behind the phrase feels dark and powerful. Even "mad as a hatter" has a tragic history. In the 17th and 18th centuries, hat makers used mercury to treat felt. Mercury poisoning caused tremors, mood swings, and erratic behavior. To outsiders, these craftsmen appeared insane. The phrase survived, but the suffering behind it was very real. Some phrases come from bold historical moments. Turn a blind eye is often linked to Admiral Horatio Nelson during the Battle of Copenhagen in 1801. When ordered to retreat, he supposedly raised his telescope to his blind eye and claimed he didn't see the signal, continuing the attack and winning the battle. His act of defiance became part of everyday language. Others are surprisingly literal. Running around like a headless chicken sounds exaggerated, but biologically, a chicken's body can move briefly after decapitation because of nervous system impulses. The chaotic image is disturbingly accurate. Meanwhile, a bull in a china shop suggests destruction, but experiments have shown bulls can actually move carefully around fragile objects. The phrase survives not because it's accurate, but because it feels right. And then there are phrases like a different kettle of fish, whose origins remain unclear. The exact reason behind the wording has been lost to time. Language evolves organically, sometimes leaving behind expressions with no clear birth certificate. What all of this shows is something fascinating. The phrases we use casually every day are like tiny time capsules. Some hide myths, some hide crime, some hide industrial tragedy, some hide pure exaggeration. Language is not just a communication tool, it's a living museum of human history, belief, imagination, and storytelling. So now I'm curious, which of these surprised you the most? And is there a phrase you've always wondered about? Let me know in the comments, because the more you look at language closely, the more you realize it's never just words. It's history speaking through everyday conversation.